My question is to the Prime Minister. This month, the Prime Minister expelled the Iranian ambassador, an action the Coalition has strongly supported. But what message does it send when the Prime Minister of this country doesn't have the spine to condemn his former flatmate, Daniel Andrews, for posing in family photos with the Iranian president, a leader whose regime has actively orchestrated attacks on Australian soil?
The member for Gellibrand is warned. The Prime Minister has a call.
Well, they are delulu, Mr Speaker. If they are going to come here over an issue in which there was bipartisan support for the expulsion of the Iranian ambassador for at least 12 hours, before there was criticism of the government's action. My government have taken decisive action. I am not responsible for what every Australian citizen does. What I'm responsible for, is what
members on my left
is what our government does, and the former government was responsible for sending Minister Ronaldson
and the Leader of the Nationals.
Minister Ronaldson to the previous event. Mr Speaker, we stand unequivocally in condemning the Iranian regime, and what international affairs requires is for governments of purpose, with that sense of purpose, to engage diplomatically with our friends. And we had yesterday people such as President Paboa and a whole range of people attending there. My position is very, very clear, which is we did not send any government representative because it wouldn't have been appropriate. None of my team would have sat in that position. As simple as that. And there was no representative. What individuals do, very separate from the government, is a matter for them. And I note, I note that it certainly is not something that I would have even thought of doing, and no one in my government would have thought of doing. As simple as that. But the idea that what you do on an issue such as opposition to the Iranian regime is look for difference where there is none actually undermines Australia's position in international politics. Just as the response from last Wednesday morning to try and look for distinction and look for political difference for what was the first time that any government has expelled an ambassador since the Japanese ambassador was expelled during World War II.